The club as a whole has just evolved, and he seems to be in a really great position on and off the pitch from what I've seen, and then the coaching staff have got involved now. It seems to be in a really good position to kick on, and Kopi obviously play a massive part in that. And as I said, it's great to see. Looking forward to seeing how Wimbledon do next season, but mainly, as I said, off the pitch is in a really strong position, and that can only be positive signs for on the pitch.
Callum, great to see you back here today for this AFC Wimbledon Business Club event. How did it feel returning here in a different role? What sort of talk did you give to those who attended here today?
Yeah, it was brilliant. I mean, I haven't had the opportunity to come down. It's with a combination of living up in Midlands and also still playing part-time. I haven't had the opportunity to come back down to Plough Lane, so it was fantastic to be asked and be involved in something different. Since I kind of transitioned on full-time football, I haven't had the opportunity to do anything like this. So we got together alongside Dave Lewis, former rugby player as well, and we had a conversation about the transitional period between football and then going into a different career. And both Dave and I as well are into like corporate world, so it's very different from football background, changing room. So we had a conversation through that, what made us choose the respective professions that we did do, and how we found that transition, how we dealt with it.
Business club event, of course, as well. Did you get some interesting questions come up?
Yeah, conversations came about how we've dealt with it mentally, really. I think the psychology of it, because I think it's very easy to talk about kind of on the face value of like how did you do, what degree did you do, or what kind of experience did. But ultimately, I think the hardest point for footballers that are transitioning, whether retired or semi-retired, I think is that psychology of dealing with having to work longer hours, not getting that kind of buzz of playing in front of thousands of fans on a weekend, or scoring a goal or setting up a goal or things like that. So I think it's that psychology of having to deal with that. How do you find it? What do you do to kind of offset that? And that was kind of where the interest was kind of at with that. And it's been really good to meet some good connections down here as well. I work specifically kind of in real estate for the law firm that I work at now, and business development, and it's been really good to connect with people here and see some familiar faces like yourself.
Absolutely. Tell us about the work that you do now, though. What was it like, that transition to a 9 to 5, and what interested you in the role?
Yeah, it's always difficult. I don't think anything kind of prepares you for the longer hours, being prepared to go above and beyond, and then balancing that with having children, family life, and I still play part-time football as well to get that. But initially I went into doing communications work because of a man called Andy Walker, who used to head up our team at Birmingham City when I was a young lad there, and he's now senior communications manager for the England team, and found that really interesting to see his career path, and I'm still speak to him now, still have conversations, and that was kind of what led me down the route that I did go down. Did a lot of work with yourselves as well, which was fantastic, and other clubs that I've been at as well, and seeing a different side to the game as opposed to just playing it. Got to see the side of the commentary game, the programme, the work that goes into it off the pitch as well. And that's kind of led me down the path. So I've been doing that for the last couple of years, and now I moved into business development, still within real estate. So I worked in communications in real estate, now work still within real estate, but monitoring clients' markets, and it's all about trying to, I think for myself, is just trying to make myself more well-rounded, and just trying to get, as I say, gain that experience in all different areas.
When did it get into your mind that I've got to have a plan in life, because football's a very short career, isn't it?
Quite early. So I was always someone that I really enjoyed football and enjoyed playing it. Certainly enjoyed, one of my happiest times was playing here, and I really enjoyed playing and found it, as I said, I was proud to play football, but I was always someone that was wary that if I let it go on too late. I was always thinking that you've got young kids to provide for, a family. I wanted to be in a situation where I could provide for them and be in a role that I knew that probably role was going to be something that was completely different to football, and I wanted to make sure that I did that early enough so I could see myself looking to transition that period. I think the later I left it, maybe the perception may be that I might have left it too late and I've probably been doing football too long. And very early, I was always trying to narrow down something that was probably right for me, and fell upon communications pretty quickly, and PR, and now, just said, business development, monitoring clients and markets and stuff is something that as an opportunity that just came up. And I think as a footballer, I think if you're looking to transition into something completely different, I do think, one, you need to be resilient because you're going to get knockbacks, and I think you naturally have that as a sports person, but also that flexibility that you may not be the role that you were looking at initially, maybe something else or a different path that you may have to go down, and you may end up enjoying that more.
Of course, you did the sports journalism and broadcasting degree with Anthony Wordsworth and with Kwesi at Stafford. How much did you enjoy that, and in terms of, did it give you a good grounding in terms of communication?
Yeah, it was fantastic, and it was, first and foremost, it was great to connect with other footballers that were also looking to go down a different path and looking at what they were going to do next, and staying in touch with them as well since we did our degree as well. And it gave me great foundation grounding for things, and give you good habits. I think was probably the main thing, is giving you good habits going into, say, the corporate world.
You've of course done some commentary with us, which we've touched upon. Would you like to get back into sports journalism again, or is this now taking you in a different career path?
I don't think it'll be sports journalism, but I'd like to get back into sport in some capacity. I think there's avenues of doing that within the realm of the work that I'm doing now, but also if it decided to go back towards like PR and comms route, I think there's opportunities there to be working in sport. Love football, watching football any level every day. It's on if it's possible, and so it would be great to get back involved in football. Just getting my son involved in football now as well, and want to start taking him to matches and start bringing him to things. So it'd be great, to get back into football. So if the opportunity comes up, then great.
You've had that promotion, of course, as well with Tamworth. How have you found that work-football balance, though?
It's been difficult. I think it's obviously working longer hours. As I said, young children as well. My boy started doing a few more classes, so like football, tennis, after-school clubs as well. You're doing a few different bits of it. So train Tuesday, train Thursday, and then with Tamworth through National League North last season. So still a fair bit of travelling that you have to do. It means that Saturdays can be completely wiped out, so that's difficult from a management point of view, time management point of view with your family as well as the time. So a bit of a decision to make on that front, whether I continue to do that. And because I mean, for me, obviously the most important thing for me at the moment is family, and then it's going to be the job that I'm doing now as well. So it's just making sure that I prioritise everything in the right way.
So of course, I mean, you are only 30. There's still life in the football career yet as it goes. How long, as you say, do you think you might continue with that for? What level are you looking at now, though?
If I was going to stay in it, then I'd like to stay the same level I was last season. But no decisions to make really now. I'm enjoying the time at the minute to be able to give a little bit more time to my work, a little bit more time with family as well. So I'm enjoying that at the minute. So I'm not making any decisions. But I think if I was to continue, then I think it would need to work and be right for me in terms of location as well, with being close to home. But I think we were talking about transitional side of things. I think mentally it's been very useful to play football, being in a changing room environment still, and having that kind of buzz of playing on a Saturday. So there is that benefit to it that I need to consider.
And that last appearance, of course, for you out there on the pitch at Plough Lane was the historic night that the fans came back in. You scored, of course, against a very young Liverpool 11. Good memories of that night?
Yeah, I think at that time, so I'd actually broke my ankle prior to that, and so I think that game was primarily set on as a test event, I believe, for fans coming in. So it was amazing. I was proud to be a part of that. But for me, primarily at the time, it was a good opportunity to get fit. And but yeah, looking back on it at the time, on reflection, it was great to be a part of, as I said, that event where fans were coming in and being there. So yeah, delighted to have been involved.
I mean, the goal's nice, but of course, as you say, that's what this club is all about, is the fans, isn't it? And that was such a special night to have them all back in here at last.
Amazing. And I think previous season, obviously that season that we just left then, looking back, you do feel a little bit robbed. It's we had a whole season, as I said, without the fans here, and it was sad in a way. As I said, it's because what makes this club, but also football, what it is, and especially the fans here, as I said, they've been absolutely brilliant with me, and met a couple again today, and as I said, brilliant place to play football. It was just a shame that season we didn't have them, but it was great on that day.
It's the memories as well. I mean, you came to us at a unique time when the club was coming back home as well. That must really stick in the memory too, yeah? Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure you're probably going to touch on it, but in terms of best memories, that was right up there, playing in that first game back here. Still got my shirt from that game as well at home. And as I said, it's one of the proudest memories I've had, was playing the first game here. And I remember coming to this stadium when it was building site really, and seeing around it, and kind of the vision from the club of what they wanted to do with the club, and starting to do it now, obviously with your more events that you're putting on as well, and attendances are really high and fan engagement's really good, and just the development of the club and how it's evolved even since I was here is fantastic to see. I remember being shown around the building site as well by some of your teammates and them chucking my shoes in the bin. Yeah. That's the kind of camaraderie amongst the squad though, wasn't it? Yeah, I wasn't part of that. Maybe I was in a different group from that one, Rob. But yeah, no, I think Wimbledon's always been associated with that side of things. It's good banter, it's good group, but mainly I think main thing that gets probably overlooked a little bit is that togetherness with not just the changing room, but I think with the fan base and the club as a whole. Some of the games as well, Gillingham, does that sort of bring back memories? Yeah, I mean, I'm talking kind of my best memories really. I think, as I said, one of the proudest memories playing here, the first game that we played, it was bittersweet with the fans not being here, but it was still an amazing memory. And then on reflection, the season that got curtailed because of COVID, we played Gillingham away in the last away game that we played, and former club of mine, it was a big game. There always seemed to be a bit of needle between the two sides in them games, and he scored late on to win the game for us, and I think we just stayed up technically anyway, but it was still pivotal, I think, when it came down to points at the end of the season when we obviously the season got curtailed.
So of course, look, we're settled back in now at Plough Lane. We've got the home. There's been improvements, of course, to the squad as well. Craig Cope's involved behind the scenes too now. I mean, you remember him, of course, from your playing.
Yeah, I remember Cope from Solihull. Yeah, so I mean, as I said, it goes back to what I said. The club as a whole has just evolved, and he seems to be in a really great position on and off the pitch from what I've seen. Having a chance to watch many games, watch the highlights, and try and keep tabs on how Wimbledon are doing. And some signings that have been made, how it's ran mainly off the pitch as well, and then the coaching staff have got involved now. It seems to be in a really good position to kick on, and Kopi obviously play a massive part in that. And as I said, it's great to see. Looking forward to seeing how Wimbledon do next season, but mainly, as I said, off the pitch is in a really strong position, and that can only be positive signs for on the pitch. And hopefully, good luck for the coming season.
Brilliant, absolutely. Thanks very much indeed for your time, Callum. Hopefully, we'll see you back here for a bit of commentary one day, maybe.
100%. Thanks, Rob.